Hello and welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. San Bernardino County Supervisors are considering requiring special permits for people working in restaurants and for restaurant owners to be sure that their employees go through the eVerify process to make sure they're in the country legally and can work here legally. With us now is Neil Derry. He is a supervisor proposing this
Thank
change.
you, Leslie.
Tell us more about it.
Well, we found that amongst teenagers in San Bernardino County and state of California, there's about a 30% unemployment rate for those looking for work. And as you and I know, most of our first jobs are in the service industry, particularly the food handler industry, such as McDonald's or Baker's or any restaurant. And one of the requirements is you have to have a food handler's card approved by the county to do so. My proposal is very simple. It simply requires every individual getting a food handler's card from here on to be verified to make sure they're allowed to work in the state of California and the country.
What does a food handler's card entail?
It's a very simple test. We just do some basic safety requirements to make sure people understand that they're supposed to wash their hands. They're supposed to make sure that their hair is covered, that basic sanitary training. And it allows for people to then take that food handler's card and work anywhere in the county in the restaurant industry.
Why are you encouraging the eVerify process for the restaurant industry as opposed to any other industry, healthcare or something else like that?
Well, the food handler card is something that's regulated by the county. Currently, we don't have a required business license in the unincorporated areas of the county, so this looked like an obvious choice. We do issue these cards, so it is something the county handles directly.
What kind of feedback are you getting on this?
You know, it's been very positive. People think it's the right thing to do. I have many adults with children who are in their teenage years and can't find work and are desperately looking for work. They're looking to pay for those extra college fees they're having to pay now. It's become much more difficult, and a lot of young people who probably wouldn't have worked 10 years ago are looking for jobs nowadays.
What are your fellow supervisors and people in the restaurant industry saying to you?
We haven't had much feedback from the restaurant industry, but there's been some support from my fellow supervisors. We have required eVerify to be expanded to county contractors, so anybody that wants to contract with the county has to ensure that their new employees are e-verified. This is just an expansion of that requirement to a very logical, I think, standard.
I hear that a main motivation of yours is to employ teenagers, to get our teenagers working. Is it possible that they could still get this job if they really wanted it, but teenagers don't see themselves as working in the restaurant industry as much these days?
I think it's more of a lack of opportunity nowadays. People who are in the country illegally often have fine work experience. They've got a lot of training already, and they're easier to hire, quite frankly. And young people deserve the opportunity to get the training, to be able to have that job opportunity and build a resume, which it's much more difficult today than when I was in 1987 when I was out of high school.
If you could mandate the eVerify for the restaurant industry, would you then move to other industries?
We're looking at creating a business license in the unincorporated areas of the San Bernardino County, which would then require them to do it, businesses through the unincorporated areas to do it as well. There is some pushback. There's some questions about the state mandates, but I intend to push an ordinance through, and if the state of California wants to try to stop us, I welcome their challenge.
Okay, we have about 30 seconds left, and switching gears, so to speak. Lance Armstrong may be coming back to the Amgen tour through our local mountains. Tell us about that.
Yes, the Big Bear area is again pursuing the Amgen tour. 2 years ago, they came to Big Bear through our mountain communities. It was a great exposure for the county and for the Big Bear region and our mountain communities. I'm hopeful they'll be back. They're going to be making an announcement hopefully by the end of the month.
Okay,
so
and
we're
that's
very
something
hopeful.
That would come around May.
You bet.
Thank you very much for being here,
My
Neil
pleasure.
Derry, and thank you for tuning in. More HLN right after this.